Yeah.
So like,
Young now is no longer being indecent.
Okay, it's 11:59.
Okay.
Well, that's my time actually. It's what, 8:59 in normal people time.
All right. Let's get this podcast on the underway. My expensive green screen in the background. You guys, that was $1,000.
fuck.
Oh, let me wait no longer. Exactly. We want to give you the best continent as possible, and this is the best continent.
I'm assuming they can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can at least.
Oh, beautiful. Dude, I forgot to change your colors. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I can hold that. It has my name. That's good enough.
I picked a beautiful font for you, though.
Yeah, the font is very beautiful. I looked. I was like, that's okay. You know.
Oh, just okay? Okay.
No, I was like, that's you know, I feel it. You know, I feel the cursive. That's probably better handwriting than I can do in real life.
I'm done. Okay, so we are currently waiting on Best Continent NA. You're straight up right, Cater.
Kate.
What if I don't hear something about Twice on this podcast? You're all getting reported. We're going to talk about Twice. Yonflip, move your cam a little bit down.
Okay. Is this bad?
Now move it a little bit up. You want your face, but you don't want all that negative space above your head. Like right there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Okay. Alright. So this is I know, right, Cater? Yonflip looking thick. He looking thick, mommy.
Wait, what? Someone says I'm big.
No. He just said, oh, fuck. Anyway, okay. So, here we are, chat and friends.
Wait, what?
We're here today with the podcast, the Kawaii FM Podcast, the Padcast. Abev, what was the first topic? Introductions?
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Okay. Yeah. Introductions. Okay, great. Wow. That's not being read off.
All right.
No.
So basically, the point of this podcast for everyone is just so that way we can like have a discussion and really talk about different things going on in the FGC, and like either like reflect, discuss differences in like different fighting games, or like key and potential moments. Obviously, we're going to be touching on KIT, and we'll be touching on 2017's past and all that good stuff. But today I have 3 other homeboys. It's not scripted, Cater. I have 3 other homeboys up in here. So I mean, if you guys don't already know, if you don't already follow my channel and watch my content, then you guys, hey, Kawaii Face Smiles. I'm a professional Tekken player. I play Elisa, and look at these drinks, right? I'm a professional Tekken player, and I play Dimple Summit says, "Why is Yonflip so sexy?" Anyways, I'm a professional
Beautiful dude and Alex are the sexy ones.
I'm a professional Tekken player. I play Elisa, and I play for the team UIU. I stream 5 days a week. I try to keep it a variety amongst regular Tekken, but I do stream primarily Tekken content. And I don't know, if you guys don't watch my stream, you should regularly, because we listen to Twice, we play some ranked, we be doing some stupid stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much me. All right.
But they're watching your stream right now.
Yeah, thanks for watching my content. Yeah. Anyways, I guess we'll go around the circle and introduce everyone. So, Beautiful dude, would you like to introduce yourself to the young folks?
Sure. How you guys doing? I'm Beautiful Dude. I'm a professional anime/now Tekken player for UIU. I'm awesome. I'm happy to be here. Usually I stream sometimes, but I'm gonna be back after Evo Japan, which I'm gonna be going to. I'm pretty excited for that. Besides that, I've been playing fighting games for a decent amount of time now. Probably 2010, 11ish. But I got into anime about 4 or 5 years after that, and ever since then it's been a wild ride. So, and now I'm recently into Tekken. Tekken's like my newest foray into like my fighting game adventure, and that's been incredible so far. So hopefully in 2018 I can do more cool stuff. But besides that, that's my whole thing. I'm really happy you guys are having me here. Can't wait to do the discussion with you guys.
Alex?
Wait, why me next? I thought it was Young Fluster.
No, you first. I'm the least important on here. You
Oh
go first.
god.
Okay.
That's not necessary.
I guess I'll go next then. I am Abev, aka Alex. People probably just know me as Abev from Twitter and whatnot. I am UIU's current editor-in-chief, formerly an Echo Fox writer. Not the kind of person you're probably seeing play at tournaments and whatnot, because that's not really me. But pretty much I work behind the scenes right now with UIU on some stuff. Just working to make sure that the team is sort of like flowing right now, I guess. I don't know really how to word it, but making sure that we have plans for content and whatnot for 2018. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have going on right now. And then, of course, helping Miles set up this podcast. So yeah, that's me right now. That's pretty much all there is to it. I'm also a really bad King player, but shout out to Lil Majin for showing that our character is top tier.
I like it.
So, Yanflip.
Oh, hello stream. I'm Yanflip. I play Tekken competitively, and I'm a WNF regular. So if you guys ever watch WNF, then you'll see me play. I use Ling. She's my main ever since Tekken 5. And I also use Kazumi as well as a secondary, Elisa, Asuka, pretty much all the girl characters. And I have the reputation, unfortunately, of playing really cheap or thirsty, as people would say. So a lot of people find my playstyle very trollish, but that's just how I play. Yeah, that's really it. I also try and go to as many tournaments as I can possible, but of course with work and school and life, it's a bit difficult, but Tekken's my passion though, so I try and go to as many things as I can. That's it.
Nice. So of course, if you guys, as you guys have realized, we have quite an array of players. Obviously, there's 3 Tekken players along with someone who is more so behind the scenes in the FGC, but still, we all kind of notice everything and notice different things. A big special moment is that it's actually Yanflip's first time on a stream being able to talk, because most of the time you guys see him on WNF being a troll.
I'm never a troll. I'm like the most nicest, polite, nice player that plays very fair, never sweeps. I'm like
Ling players, Jesus Christ.
people just don't like my character. It's not my fault. Like
Ling players.
Hey, calm down about Ling players. We have one of those on UI.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can't talk shit about that character right now.
oh, Princess Ling. Speaking
Yeah.
of Princess Ling, that's actually one of my really good friends and training partners, of course, as well as Kawaii Face Miles. So it's a pleasure to be here right now with these 3 people. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to meet all the followers.
All the people, all the Kawaii Pies, all the regular viewers, which I see a lot of them in here. I see Speed Kicks is kind of in shock to see the IRL beautiful dude. actually
yo,
here.
my boy speaking. Oh, yo, what's up, bro? Oh shit, my boy speaking. Oh, hell yeah. Yo, what's up, bro? I heard you've been putting hella work with your elf out. Good shit. I love to see that.
But definitely, I'm so excited because we have so much to talk about. We have a lot to cover. So let's get right into it. So let's first go into talking about the most important parts of our 2017. Who wants to go first?
I can go ahead and start because I don't have much to say really.
Okay.
Pretty much started out my year. I don't really know how to say it. Basically, like casually playing stuff online. I was still like playing Tag 2 at the time on Xbox because I didn't have PlayStation. Back when like obviously Tekken 7 wasn't out yet, I was just like trying to figure out how to actually play the game because I've always been like a casual player and stuff and always like watched tournaments for years, but I really wanted to like figure out more how to play like Tekken competitively, I guess, even though I don't really like playing tournaments. And so going like forward into the year, I was also wanting to like expand upon like what I can do because I, as an English major in college right now, I really wanted to see if there were any writing opportunities that I could like sort of expand my reach in the fighting game community. And I saw that Echo Fox had been looking for volunteer writers, and so I jumped on board with that, and I've been working. Well, I was working with them for a few months. I think it was like March to about November, on a lot of content, while I was also just enjoying Tekken, like I'm sure everybody else was with Tekken 7 releasing. Up until about November when I started to talk to UIU and got affiliated with the team, and ever since then I have been sort of helping out with stuff kind of behind the scenes, kind of getting some plans together for content for this year. But that was really like a great way to end out my year. And so I'm very happy that has led me to where I am now, from being just like a crappy online player, just wanting to get better, wanting to practice and like watch really good players who are like actually traveling, to the point that I'm at now. It was a great year, like sort of evolving through it. And so that was pretty much my 2017.
Nice. Who wants to go next? Who want to talk next? Who want to talk about their 2017?
I'll go. Basically, 2017 was probably my best year in fighting games, at least my favorite. So much has happened. Like, it's honestly hard to recall. I got a bunch of top 8s, which is nice. Winning STR for Guilty Gear felt really good. I've been wanting that one for a long time, so that felt incredible. Not only did that, but besides that, Evo was incredible. Got top 32 in Guilty Gear. In Tekken, we all know what happened there. Like that Evo will easily be my most memorable, most bestest Evo. Like I don't think I can top that for a while. That was great.
That delicious.
And you guys know exactly what I'm referring to.
I think we all know.
Yeah, like that. Hop kicking. Like I'm making that joke a lot, but beating Tanakana in Tekken 7 was easily like propelled me to things I did not think were possible. So that Evo was incredible. Like it was. Like you guys don't understand. Like that victory was really good, but like after that happened, like I got super like infamous. Like it was the best, and I got so much opportunities because of that. A lot of great things happened because of that stuff. The rest is history. I put more time into Guilty Gear and BlazBlue 2, so that's a lot of fun. And I felt like a lot of improvement in my play. There's some rocky starts. Sometimes I didn't make it to top 16 or whatever, but eventually I feel like I improved a lot, and my results got better as a result. And not only that, but I put a lot of time into Tekken, and it's still hard. Like I don't think I'm good at all, but I see a lot of progress. I'm beating more players that I thought I would never be able to beat. Like veterans that have been playing this game for a long time, so that's really cool. I still have a very long way to go. But, you know, I can see it little by little, so that's very exciting. It makes me want to play even more. So Tekken's been really cool. That's been a huge part of my 2017, which I never thought was going to happen. Guilty Gear has been wonderful too. You know, I did get picked up by ITS, which, you know, now that's over now, but that definitely was really big at the time. But yeah, besides that, I think 2017 was, like I said before, it was easily my FG year, fighting game year in quite a while. Like 2016 was very good too, but for some, you know, things just worked out, and here we are. So yeah, that was basically a summary of my 2017. It was just a lot of accomplishing my goals, like winning my first major and going to more top 8s, but also a lot of surprises like the Tanakana stuff. It's crazy. It's been a lot of fun.
Did you also happen to mention the SCR trophy in there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me go get.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Product.
I don't know if that was
placement?
mentioned.
Product.
Let me go get that. Yeah, I have it. This is the trophy for. Yeah, there we go for SCR.
Oh,
so
that's
I
really
love this thing.
I like it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was my first trophy. Like I've won team tournaments, Anime Ascension, which was really cool, but I never won a trophy in singles, so that felt really cool.
It's like glass, right?
Yeah, it's like glass. You can probably kill
that's
them if you want to. Yeah, that trophy's awesome, and I love it. So, gonna go for more though in 2018. I'm excited.
Yeah, some Dragon Ball trophies.
Hey, you
All
never
right,
know.
so Jan Flip, what about your 2017?
My 2017 was very productive, actually. I actually got out of the military. I was stationed in the East Coast for about 4 years in Virginia. So during that time, from 2012 to 2016, I was playing Tekken Tag 2 behind the scenes, and I've been playing Tekken pretty much all of my life. But unfortunately, because of the military, I didn't really get to go to that many tournaments, or I really didn't go at all for Tekken Tag 2. So the introduction in 2017, it was very eventful because thanks to ITS, Heavenly Skies, which I still appreciate what she's done for the team. She sent me out to a couple of tournaments. I went to my first final round last year, so that was really nice. I played a lot of top players. I played a couple of players I didn't expect to beat. Like I played Poke Chop the first time, and I beat him, and it was pretty interesting because a lot of people warned me about him before I played him. They're like, "Oh, look out for him! You know, he's really loud. You can't get distracted while he's playing you." So I was just like, "Okay, it can't be that bad," because I played some pretty loud players before, but he was really loud, and I was just like, "Oh, dang! I really need to turn on my music." So while I played him, I played a Twice song, and I beat him with Kazumi while listening to Twice. And everyone around me, they're just like, "Oh my god, you beat him, this and that." I'm just like, "Oh dang, now I have to fight JDCR." So when I played JDCR, it was really crazy because I've never played anyone at that level before. So I only managed to get a round on him, but I almost beat him another round. But I used Elisa, and I didn't know certain combos because the game was still new and we didn't have it yet. So I was just like, okay, I gained a lot of experience from that. And then in top 32, I did lose to Cuddle Core, and I got 17th place. So I wasn't really that disappointed in myself because I still consider myself a newer player, and I still have a lot to learn. So final round, just from that, I learned a lot. And then once we got the game, though, it was a whole nother level of experience because when I went to EVO, although I did lose to Nobi in my pool, which I lost pretty badly, I learned a lot from that match, though. After that, I went into top 32 and I played more people, and I did manage to beat a Bob/King player named Pecos, a Japanese player, but that wasn't streamed though. But I was really happy with myself that I beat him because after losing to Nobi, I felt kind of like maybe I need to just relax more, and it's a lot of mind games for tournaments. I learned that, so I felt like I learned a lot from just going to EVO 2. Even though I only got 17th place last EVO, I still feel like I'm learning still.
Only 17.
Yeah, only 17th place. Like, unfortunately, I haven't been to as many tournaments as I'd like to, so I'm hoping for 2018 that I can go to more events so that way I can improve, because I really enjoy this game, and I feel like a lot more newer players, they enjoyed a lot more too as well, because the whole system and everything what Harada did is really good. Like, of course, you know, it's not perfect, but what game is perfect, you know?
Of course.
But
Yeah.
well, that's my spiel though. That's my 2017 basically. And then I'm not in ITS anymore, but still looking to go to tournaments, of course.
Free agent Jan Flip.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
And I think I won like 4 WNFs or something, but like, I mean, like that's like a local here in SoCal, but going to WNF is highly recommended if you live in Southern California. Like, a lot of good players. You got Rip, you got Ricksta, you got Beautiful Dude, Weapon X. Like, everyone knows that Weapon X is my best friend. We got him in there. Yeah, a lot of players. So
Yeah, I definitely want to add to that. That Wednesday night is, if you're like in the SoCal area, you definitely owe yourself to that. Like, going to Wednesday night fight and getting my ass kicked over and over again, and then seeing the improvement little by little, and like and then eventually beating people and placing decent was like huge. Like, playing people offline is the best thing you can do, especially if they're good. So I definitely implore you. SoCal has a very healthy Tekken scene. It's great.
Agreed. I've never done a WNF, so I don't know how that feels. However, I really do want to go.
2018?
Yeah. Oh, that'll be one of my 2018 things. But so I think for my 2017 was actually probably one of my I consider a very important like peak year for myself. Sorry guys, I forgot to announce I'm talking about my 2017 now. So 2017 was definitely one of my peak years. I feel during that time I was sponsored by ITS, and of course, just like all the rest of us that were, we definitely appreciate the opportunity as much as possible. But that year, I think I went to the most tournaments I have in quite some time. I hit final round and Northwest Majors, Evo, SCR, and DreamHack Denver. During that time, though, I went to final round and I lost pretty bad. Like, I kind of just lost my mojo for some reason. Like, every time I got on stream, it was just really bad. But of course, I kind of just pushed past the embarrassment and looked at those matches and definitely tried to improve. Went to Evo. I beat Sua, who is a Korean player.
the Ling player, right?
Yeah, she's a Ling player, but she's
Oh yeah,
primarily
that
a
was
2D
nice. I remember that. I saw that.
She's a 2D fighter, so I mean, like, it's not like the greatest victory, but I did get that chance to beat her. And then Northwest Majors was my second tournament of the year. No, my second tournament overall, but my first tournament that last year that I got top 16 at. Losing to one crucial mistake was like the worst thing ever, but it was still the best thing that could have happened because I at least got to top 16. Since then, I went on to SCR. I did really well. But prior to that, Tekken 7 came out on console, and I think the more turn point of my 2017 was definitely we gotta drop.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, there's Alex. So I think the big turning point of my 2017 was when I did we got Tekken 7 and I started streaming. I didn't stream originally, and I started streaming because I was really pushed by my friend Katie to start streaming because at the time ITS had a sponsorship with Kwamba, and she said, yo, just start streaming. So I started streaming, and then playing Eris and playing a bunch of other people and stuff like that really helped boost my career in streaming. I learned Stick in 2017. I forgot to mention that nice little thing. But since then, since I started streaming, it really turned point my whole existence and presence in the FGC, which I felt was really big. I mean, come to the end of the year, closing out my 2017, you know, Harada watched my stream. Harada sent me an Elisa statue, and it was 2017 was definitely big for me. Ended up getting picked up by UYU, which was super amazing, and I was like super happy with, because I know I was working with them prior when I was on ITS and promoting them and stuff like that, and then it just turned into a big thing. But definitely 2017 was hands down. I feel like it was more so the beginning of everything.
Don't forget when Harada shouted you out.
Oh yeah, that too.
Don't cry, fight!
Oh god, that was so embarrassing, because I was just like,
that was funny.
God.
I can imagine Harada saying that too.
Because I was like crying on stream, like boo-hooing and being a nasty bitch. It was so gross. But then at the end, I was just like, okay. You gotta put your big girl panties on and get it going. Alright, so then next, what are some important 2018 stuff you guys have planned? Who wants to start off?
Well, I guess I could go ahead and say it, because sort of piggybacking on what I had originally said, since I'm working as editor-in-chief with UIU right now, we have a lot of content already planned. Some certain community members we'd like to reach out to talk about different things, and I'm super excited to actually be going to tournaments for once. That's going to be fun, because that's never really been me, so doing that is definitely going to be exciting for me. Yeah, Strong Style is going to be the first, followed by some others that I've got planned out right now. Doing a lot of content with UIU, like I said, and just, you know, really working with the team to expand our horizons, to make sure that we get the best content out there that we can, and it's going to be very fun going throughout the whole year with this very close-knit, almost like family of a team. So I'm really excited for that. And so that's pretty much going to be my 2018 for how it's planned out right now, along with like school and work and whatnot here. But that's just like my regular life stuff that I am able to manage alongside everything. And at this point, it's honestly really feeling like sort of in the paths that I'm going with multiple things in my life right now. Like UIU is definitely feeling like the primary path, if that makes sense. Like most of my focus is going into UIU. Like, I'm not saying that I'm neglecting other things, but I'm definitely super excited for this year, and I am going to like pour a lot of my heart into it, and it's going to be great. And that's it. That's different.
Oh.
Sorry, should have said that.
Alright, who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Well, for 2018, first thing is that now that I moved into this new place, which I'm very excited, I finally settled in. My friend was nice enough to build my PC, so that's why you guys finally see me on camera, on stream, and I'm actually going to start streaming next week, or this week actually. So I'm very excited for that. I'm just really excited to be able to communicate with other fellow Tekken players and give advice, and of course receive advice too, because you know we're all still learning, and I feel like I could gain a lot from streaming my gameplay, playing rank, doing lobbies, any of that, and then communicating with people. Like I think I'll learn a lot from that. And of course with PC, the connection is just amazing. Like I knew that there was a huge difference, but I mean PlayStation 4, I have like I think 3 mighty rulers. I'm not gonna say it's all due because of lag, but I mean I got mighty ruler with Lily. Like Down back 4 was, I'm not gonna lie, down back 4 is pretty OP on PS4. Yeah, I got Mighty Ruler with Lily. Kazumi though, that was just I can't really say Kazumi's a cheap character. I feel like you have to play really solid with her and fundamentals and movement. But Ling, of course, though, she's just, cheese all over, especially on PS4. So I wouldn't really say I feel like any achievement from getting purple rank on PS4, but I definitely will enjoy the process of getting that on PC, because I feel like it will be more well earned, because there's a lot better players, stronger players, and of course the connection, you could actually block stuff on PC. So I got that going on, and then of course with my regular life, like Alex mentioned, that's the part where it gets a little difficult, but in the long run, it's worth it, though. Basically, that's what he said. Like, I want to go to more tournaments, be more active in FGC, and, just learn more. Like, I want to get better at this game. I want to actually be good. And, that's what I'm looking forward for in 2018. Go to more tournaments, stream, be more active. Then at the same time, still get my regular life stuff done, work in school. That's really it, though.
So before we continue, Yanflip, is there a link that people can follow on in the chat for your stream?
I actually I have a Twitch account, but hold on, let me see. Really unprepared. Go on though. I could put it in while you guys are talking.
All right, BD, what's your next thing?
2018 is gonna be really cool. Like, especially now that I've been sponsored by UIU, I'm gonna be able to travel to a lot more places, places I've never been to. I'm definitely gonna go to what's it called? First things first. I'm gonna go to this Wednesday. Next Wednesday. I would say January 17th, which is about 2 weeks from now. I'm going to a big tournament for Dissidia, which is like a Square Enix official Square Enix tournament. Like, we were invited with my team, since we also won SCR. I forgot to mention that we won Dissidia for SCR Dissidia, the tournament there with my team there. We won there. It was a pretty fun tournament. It was pretty cool. We won like this cool collector's edition, all that stuff, but now we got invited. Since we won, we're getting invited to this invitational, basically, which is going to be on the 17th, which you guys should definitely watch, because I don't know how much I can say, but there is a lot on the line, and I've been practicing and studying that game hard. And when I mean hard, I mean like the beta, like the open beta is literally the open Japanese beta was from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Oh crap, 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. because it's Japanese time. So I've been doing that, and it's only for Friday and Saturday. So you can imagine 1 to 6 just staying up, just so I can like level up and learn and practice so we can win. And we've been invited to that, and it's gonna be a huge one. I've been actually mostly just studying and practicing. I'm mostly studying, since I don't have the game, studying Dissidia so we can win. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. That's gonna be a huge one. That's gonna be the day right before I go to EVO for EVO Japan. That's literally the day before EVO Japan. I'm gonna do the Dissidia finals on the January 17th, and the 18th I'm taking a flight to Japan. So that's gonna be sick. It's gonna be EVO Japan. I'm super excited for that. It's funny. I did my flight and all that. I did all my stuff before even getting picked up by UIU. Like, it was gonna be like my vacation. Like, honestly, like, the tournament was more of an excuse at first. I was like, I just want to go to Japan. I've never been there before, so damn, I really want to. I really want to visit that country and see what it's got. I hear nothing but good things. I'm going to Japan. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I've been training pretty hard for that too in my off time. So hopefully I can do well. The Japanese are very strong in anime games there, so we'll see what I can do there. It'll be tough. Besides that, I'm gonna go to as many majors as I can in 2018. Especially, like I said before, that I got picked up. My opportunities will be a lot better. So I'm excited to do that. I'm gonna try to learn. I'm still gonna learn and practice Tekken. I love that game so much. It's almost a detriment to my anime games to a point, because I've been putting so much time into it. Especially after STR when I won Guilty Gear. I was like, oh, I want to play Tekken. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dragon Ball Z Fighters is coming out the same month too. So I'm not gonna have a chance to play that until I come back from Japan. So that sucks for me, but that's okay. Japan, this will be fun. But besides that, Tekken, Guilty Gear, I'll probably still play BlazBlue too. That'll be fine. And DBFZ, my play isn't gonna be super full. We're gonna see when it comes to what games I'm gonna play. It's up in the air right now because it's 3 games right now. I'm playing 3 games. It's already hard playing 3 games. So it's already hard as hell. Like just dividing my time with all 3 games and still being at least somewhat strong in most of them, except Tekken. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And besides that, life-wise, I've been working a lot. I think I'm gonna try to go back to school in the second half. So that's gonna be fun to finish my degree. Almost done. So besides that, yeah, it's 2018 is gonna be a lot of fun, especially fighting game-wise. There's so much that's gonna happen that's up in the air. But it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to even be better than 2017, which is already insane. It was really insane for me. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. My plans for 2018, I'm going to keep this short and sweet and simple. 2018 is going to be my bitch. I'm going to take over the entire world and be everyone's waifu. I do have other goals, though. Actual real goals. For 2018, I definitely have my plans to grow my Twitch. I have certain goals that I want to reach, especially my Twitch. I want to at least get 15,000 followers and 500 subs by the end of the year. Definitely make top 8. Make top 8 at a tournament, please. So those are like kind of my main things, but most of it is just like, a lot of it is just wanting to progress myself further into the FGC, but just not only the FGC, the gaming world, and doing a ton of streaming, traveling, all that good stuff. I do also want to go to Japan at some point this year, so I'm definitely going to be trying to save up coin and all that stuff, and maybe hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be able to generate a steady enough income from Twitch so I can be here at the computer entertaining you guys on Twitch more often, and drop down to part-time in my IRL jobs. That way I don't have to you guys don't have to wait long for me to do streams and all that stuff. Move out of my parents' house by the end of sometime this year, and really start just working towards building a more steady career and pursuing my dreams a lot this year. Because last year
move to Cali. Cali.
That's the kind of my plan. That's part of my plan, is I want to move out to Cali. But yeah, that's about my 2018 goals, my important plans. So how do you guys feel about a speculation of a possible Tekken World Tour 2018? Like, do you guys think the possibility of it is going to be good, that they're going to have it again, since they haven't really like announced anything? Or like, what do you guys think about Tekken World Tour 2018?
I think that it could definitely change a lot of people's current plans that they have for 2018, because I think a lot of people, with what was being said at the global finals, it seemed like they were really hinting towards, yeah, we're probably going to do this again. We just like can't officially say anything yet. But I think maybe even like as soon as Evo Japan, they might say something. I mean, I'm just purely like making a guess based on like big events they could announce something at. But I think that they are definitely going to do it again, especially with the fact that they were talking about like possibly extending the like content that they bring, which we'll talk about later. But I think that they definitely have more plans for life for Tekken comparatively, like supporting it, Namco that is. And so I definitely think that we'll see that happen. But I'm really excited to see how a lot of players evolve as we go into the year, and how that could like help shape the competitive scene more. because I really feel like it grew a lot during 2017. A lot of people were brought into Tekken through Tekken 7's release, and I am quite excited to see how that grows in 2018 because it's clearly not stopping. Like, I don't remember the exact numbers for like KIT earlier, but there were a lot of people still talking about that, and that wasn't even Tekken World Tour. That wasn't even exactly like the biggest tournament. That was just like, you know, KIT as usual, I guess, and there were still plenty of people talking about that. So clearly there's still interest in the game. We all still love the game, and I think that a huge audience still does. So I definitely think that we're going to see something happen. I just, like I said, would like to see how things go this time and how they could possibly change things, you know?
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think the most important part though is that Tekken World Tour, once they announce it, you know all the top players are going to be going insane for those points. They're going to be doing so many more tournaments, and they're just going to be at every single stop. Like, Speed Kicks was at pretty much every single Tekken World Tour stop except for South America. I think everything's just really going to start blowing up a little bit more with once the Tekken World Tour 2018 is announced, because we saw how well it performed in 2017. So to see it bring that same success into 2018, I mean, in the end, we had a good array of international players and home players come to San Francisco to battle it out, thus providing probably one of the most like legendary matches with Qdons and Saints. So I mean, with that success that they had in 2017, I definitely feel like we're going to see a lot more competitive players make it out and want to compete more, and we're going to see a spike in the player base at tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just, you know, to add on a little bit, it's just what Abeb said is that Tekken 7 put out a lot of new players, you know, including myself. This is my first Tekken. I never played a Tekken before. I think I played like 5 minutes of Tekken Tag, and that's about it. But this is the first one I got into it, and I love it, and it's really cool to see other people get into it too. So I really think I think it's pretty obvious, but another one is definitely going to happen. And when that does, it's going to be really exciting. A lot of people are going to come out of the woodwork, I think, even more than last year. And it's cool. It's cool how the game is still growing, even though it's almost going to be a year old, especially come March. So I think it has a lot of potential to be just exciting, or if not more exciting than last year's tour. But yeah, we'll see.
Actually, the game's not a year old. We've been waiting for a while for it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, the console release.
I meant console release, but yeah, you're right. It's like, what, 2 years old now? 2-3 years now?
What is it now, since we're in 2018? Like 3? I don't know. That still stings a bit, though. But, Flip, what do you think?
I think for the next Tekken, they should definitely have, like, Xiaoyu and Jin have, like, a kid finally. And then I think that character should be able to go into AOP and still wave dash and do electric.
Get out of here.
I think that would be pretty cool.
I think that would be and you say that with such a straight face too. I think that would be pretty cool.
It would be. I think that would be pretty sick. AOP, electric, wave dashing, all that good stuff.
Alt F4, please. But do you think with like Tekken World Tour Finals, like if they announce a 2018 run, like do you think that's gonna affect a lot of like tournament standings and stuff like that? And see.
Oh, definitely. There's gonna be a lot more entrants, a lot more stronger players competing, because, like you said, they're hungry for those points, and like I feel like that makes it a lot more interesting. So I really hope that like you guys are predicting too, that they're gonna announce it maybe after EVO Japan. That's what I'm thinking too. And if they do, then that's awesome. I think they should continue doing it. Like, it brings out a lot more stronger players, old school players, like Tudans, like he came back. I don't know if I said his name right, but he's really old school. And I remember I used to watch him play Tekken 5 DR and stuff, and it's awesome seeing players like that come back in the limelight, and, you know, they're doing their thing. Like, you know, he beat JDCR. Like, that was really hype. So hopefully they do it, like announce another world tour.
Agreed. Getting into that though, what about, so you know how like I was talking about international players and stuff like that, like how they ended up coming out and gaining more of that exposure into doing the Tekken World Tour Finals. Obviously with that exposure came a lot of pickups for a lot of those players into different teams. Obviously Qdons got picked up by Rox, and Chanel also recently just got picked up by Rox, but initially he got picked up by ITS at the last leg of the Tekken World Tour. John Ding got picked up by UIU, and then other players like Fergus, Lowhigh, stuff like that. Do you think that like, how do you guys feel about like all these new sponsorships? Do you feel it's like more endearing and more of a promise for aspiring free agents to come out and want to compete more, seeing that, you know, putting yourself out there has brought fruit to these free agent players for them to want to compete because now there's sponsorship available? Like, how do you guys feel about all that?
Definitely, there's going to be a lot more people trying to go out there and, you know, get a sponsorship. Like, for one, I actually was looking to be sponsored for a while after I got out of ITS, but then with, you know, real life work and all that, it was kind of hard, but I'm trying to get back into it again, so hopefully I could prove myself in one of these upcoming tournaments and, you know, just do my thing like I was doing before last year and get picked up. So yeah, definitely, like, everyone's gonna have that attitude, like a lot of players, especially if they just lost a sponsorship or, you know, they've been behind the scenes for a minute. They're gonna come back and they're like, oh dang, like, especially like, you know, your guys' sponsor, like a lot of people, they're like, what's Uyu? Or like, you know, what's that? And look at how many good players you guys have already. Like, you guys just came out of nowhere, and like that, you guys got Fergus, Princess Ling, Kawaii Face Miles now. Like, you guys are like doing your thing, and I think that's awesome. Like,
yeah, I'm definitely glad to see a lot of these sponsors growing as well. Like, not only with us, with UIU really expanding and like getting a lot of strong players, but also there's teams like Virtual Storm is another one that has Cody, Pokechop, Sparrowjin, Trungy. I don't know if that's it, but
Benching.
Yes, him as well, and that's looking like a strong roster as well. And I still think that
Fab.
Oh yeah, him too. I think they are definitely looking like one of the really strong rosters of, like, you know, actual like professional, like, sponsored and funded teams, and it's really like just, I guess, sort of relieving to see this, because I really feel like for a while the Tekken scene has needed like people to, you know, show up and like show support for these players that clearly deserve it, and I'm really glad to see that happening now. I really can't wait to see like who gets picked up throughout the year, because I think that there are a lot of players that can honestly still like, I guess there's players that I think deserve sponsorships in America still that haven't really like shown exactly what they can do in 2017, or they'll just have an explosive year in 2018. For example, Yanflip. You could have a great year in 2018 and you could end up getting sponsored, and that's the kind of thing that I'm really wanting to see, is a lot of people like pay attention to who's out there to still get picked up, because there's really talented players like yourself that are still definitely deserving of teams, and I'm glad to see it. Like,
thank you, by the way, I appreciate it.
No problem. But
it's an honor.
As early as we are into the year, seeing so many players getting picked up already, like, Beautiful Dude, you're the first announcement I think I saw of a player getting sponsored in 2018.
Yeah, I think so in general, which is crazy.
Yeah, and just seeing things grow, I am always glad to see it, because like that's one thing that I would like love to sort of help with if I can. I really just want to see the fighting game community like thrive, and everybody to get like the credit they deserve. So I can't wait to see how that impacts Tekken in 2018.
Yeah, especially, I mean, even like the more smaller teams, more tight-knit teams like 20Z, you have like Shadow 20Z coming out and representing, like he is...
Shadow did so
Yeah,
well. Sorry to cut you off, but I've known him for a really long time. When I was on the East Coast, that's actually when I first met him, at the end of like the Tekken Tag 2 era. And I played with him a lot, and I learned a lot from playing him because he has such like awesome character knowledge. He plays several characters and he's good with all of them. Like he's not one of those players where he tries picking other characters and is like, he's okay or decent. Like no, like he's really good with all the characters he uses. And he had an accident unfortunately last year, and he was away from the FGC for a while because of that, because he had to heal. And him coming back, his debut back at Kit was just amazing. Like he had a really good grand finals with Majin, and it was really great watching. And then the way he was using Claudio, like I'm not trying to downplay Beautiful Dude, of course, because Beautiful Dude's really good with Claudio too, but
I'm a baby.
He made me want to learn how to use Claudio.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, damn, I want to play this character now.
Yeah, and that character is like, honestly, besides hop kick, he's pretty fair, I would say. So,
I mean,
like, he was
in general, yeah, like in general, like what's his Claudio just has very, aside from his hop kick, like Beautiful Dude's saying, it's just like he just doesn't have that great of lows.
His lows are very just okay. Except sidesteps 4 is good, but it doesn't do much damage. So it's like his lows aren't very threatening. Like, his whole game plan is trying to damage you with enough lows to open you up with mids like hop kick. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's why I really have a lot of respect for Shadow, because I know Claudio, he doesn't have much like besides what you just mentioned. So that really proves that Shadow's defense is on point, and he's just a really solid player. Like he did, like, I know like it's not that impressive to some people because a lot of players can do that, but he did like I think 4 running 2s right in Majin's face back to back. And I'm gonna say, dude, this guy is going in. It's like when he does go in, it's like really.
Yeah, that's like a just frame too. That shit's hella hard to do. Instant all running. You have to do a forward input within a frame. I think, pretty sure. He did like 4 of them in a row. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like.
I think with sponsorships, this is kind of, especially for the Tekken scene, Tekken's been very, very overlooked. And now that the FGC in general, it has been moving more and more throughout the years towards esports and stuff like that, it's really bringing a lot of visual to these players who have been playing these games, especially Tekken. Tekken 7 has brought in so much eyes on them and has brought in so much attention to the game and its players that now you're starting to see a lot of sponsors be like, oh, maybe I should invest in these players. Maybe I should invest in a Tekken player, with Echo Fox kind of being like the forefront of like a more major team sponsoring, Saint and JDCR. I see that eye roll, but it's Echo Fox was that team at that time who was a major fucking team. Like they were the hugest team out at that time to come in and just be like, yo, we're sponsoring these 2 Tekken players. And they picked obviously the gods of Tekken, but it's that thing like Tekken's becoming more like it's being more invested in for other sponsors to kind of get in. So that's why it's like seeing these other players, Lowhigh and Chanel and Qdons and stuff like that, seeing them get their Junting and stuff like that, seeing them get their sponsors and their recognition off of their Tekken play is like really starting to catch on with everything. So that's why I'm just super excited with how well it's going to turn out for 2018 for the rest of the players who aren't sponsored.
Yeah. And like I think Shinobi says earlier is that I definitely agree with what you said, Miles. it's like I think promotion is a really huge thing.
Absolutely.
Self-promotion is massive, and it's like I don't want to use myself as an example, but one thing I always did in anime was self-promote and put myself out there. I always put myself out there as much as I can, whether it was commentating or getting top 8s or whatever. I always put myself out there, and I always sold my brand as hard as I could. Despite, like, I don't think I'm the best player for sure. There's definitely players better than me, but when it comes to anime, it sounds a little bit mean. Honestly, I think I'm pretty accurate with this. But when it comes to anime, like, the personalities aren't super strong. They're not very strong. Like, the personalities are not very strong. There's definitely very good, talented players, but especially for anime, I know I'm writing for Tekken a little bit. Forgive me, I'll make it quick. But for anime, like, just being very, very strong for the most part is not enough to get sponsored. It's just the scene is too small for that. So you need to be, I feel like, a complete package. Not just in Tekken or anything, but especially in anime. Like, you need to have everything. Like, be good, or at least, good enough, and have at least a strong personality or a brand that you could sell. And I think
good looking, that helps too. I'm just kidding.
And I won't lie, like, Tekken definitely helped me a lot. Like I said, the Tawatanakana business helped me out so much. So, like, I can't even, like, I got very lucky. I also got very lucky with that too, and having the geological advantage of being in West Coast also helps a lot. People don't underestimate how much playing at WNF helps so much, because you're always on stream, like, every week. And also for East Coast too, for NLBC and stuff. So there's also that. So I think for Tekken players, I think what people need to do is self-promote as much as they can. Put their brand out there, stream, do something, do as much things as you can. I think that's all. Also, the next half is, like, there's be good or, like, good enough, and, like, having a good brand or personality to sell to people.
Exactly.
I think that's really important.
And I definitely agree with that. I mean, I would feel I'm a pretty good example of that, because, I'm me. I stand out, and I have a personality and a brand that kind of sells itself. And like Shinobi was saying, getting your foot in that door, putting yourself out there, whether or not, because I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not Speed Kicks. I'm not Anakin. I'm not, Princess Sling, Yan Flip. I don't have the skill of these players to have my placings or anything like that really show for me. But what I do have is an image that is highly needed and highly wanted in the scene, not just in Tekken but FGC in general and stuff like that. And I think that's super important, especially helping out with my friends and stuff, and helping them kind of grow themselves into the FGC. I always try to remind them, like, be you, and and you always have to remind yourself, what makes me different than the million of other players that are playing this game? What sets me apart from them? And you always have to bring forth that star power to the table, because in the end, FGC is turning into, it's going towards that esports route. Sponsors want someone who is not only, good at the game, but also someone that people are going to be like, oh, like, we recognize this person, we know what they're doing and stuff like that. Like, that's how you see all these other players, and they're super big with what they're doing. You've got, like, Guilty, she's super big. You got, KO and Sherry Jennings, the OGs that are doing it big, and now they're set. Alex Valle, and Rip, and all the other players, like, they put themselves out there, and they're constantly pumping out some sort of content or keeping their face relevant, and that's what makes them who they are. And I feel like everyone in the FGC, everyone can do it. So I think a lot of it is not a lot of people know how to do it, or what to do with it. And I think it's really important that I see a lot of players asking, like, why am I not sponsored? I want to get sponsored. How do I get sponsored? Do I just win a tournament? And it's like, no, there's a lot more to winning tournaments to get sponsored. You may win tournaments, but
that's only half of it.
Yeah, you may win tournaments, but if your personality sucks, your personality sucks. No one's gonna really want to invest in you, because in the end, you're only so good until you start losing.
And also the people at the team have to deal with that then. Because, like, if somebody's personality sucks and they're just, like, a shitty person in general, then the people from the team also have to deal with that.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. What do you, Jan-Flip, do you have anything to add on to that?
I totally agree with what you said as far as the skill level versus personality as far as getting picked up by sponsors. I feel like they look more into what they can offer as far as like a following, like with the personality of the player. Like, for example, you have really awesome charisma, and I feel like that itself is really good. And also, you keep downplaying yourself, Miles, but I believe that you've been improving so much in Tekken.
I agree.
That you're definitely, like, it's going to keep going up and up. Because I remember when I first played you in Tag 2, I'm not going to say you're trash, but let's just say that I had to teach you a couple of things. And yeah, let's just say you didn't punish a lot of things. But, I mean, like, you've evolved from that within months, literally. Like, some people, it takes them a lot longer. Like, I've been playing the older Tekkens when I was a kid. Like, so it's like a lot of things, stay kind of the same. But then, of course, movement, moves, new characters, that starts changing. But, you learned a lot really quick, and I'm really proud of you. And I feel like you're like a really good example of what a sponsor would want, because you're very active as well. Like, I mean, like, for example, I could be players that are considered top players or whatever. I'm not going to do a quote like that, but like, I would beat certain top players. I could keep up with a lot of players, but I mean, even though I'm technically more skillful than you and more experienced in Tekken, you are a lot more popular because of your personality, your drive, and you're very willing and you're humble at the same time, though. Like, and that's exactly what they want. So I totally agree that you have to have like the full package, like, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad that I'm no longer trash to you, because I remember I was like, oh god,
you were a hot garbage before. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real. Like, you're a trash. I was like, you're cool now, Miles, but I'm kidding.
I know, because you would never want to play.
And now it's the opposite. I want to play you, but you're so busy, like, being popular and streaming, doing your thing. Like, I'm like, I'll let her do her thing. Like,
but at the same time,
PC, though, we could play more, though. So.
Absolutely, because like I told you, PC connection is god tier. It is so good. But so then, with all these international players kind of earning their sponsorships and stuff like that, how do you feel that, like, how do you feel about the international players that are planning to go to events? So we'll use Strong Style as an example. How do you feel that's going to affect the tournaments and the players attending? Like, how much more harder do you think it's going to make it for everyone?
I think that just pushes the community to learn and to progress as players overall. I mean, me personally, I've always seen it as the people who use stronger players, like stronger international players, as like sort of, I guess, obstacles in a way of like looking at it. They don't really consider things like properly. Like, they don't look at things the way that they should, rather than seeing players as like obstacles of, oh, well, how can I get better if I know that I'm going to this event, but JCR is also going to this event? Rather than looking at it as, okay, I know that these strong international players that are going to this event, how do I train to get better than them so I can beat them? And I think that's pretty much universal in any fighting game, but I think we see it a lot, especially in Tekken, And with a lot of these players getting sponsorships, we're going to see a whole lot more international players at events such as Strong Style, for example. Like, I know that there are, obviously the Echo Fox players are probably going to be there, but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of international players that are confirmed to be coming out to that event. And so that's just, well, after Evo Japan, of course, that's going to be like one of the first big examples of international competition, like blending with other regions that we'll see in 2018. And I'm excited to see how people take on these challenges, because like I was saying, rather than seeing them as obstacles, I really think that people can use these opportunities to push themselves further as players and, you know, just make the game better for everyone overall. Because I believe that a more educated community, like a more evolved community of players that obviously like know what they're doing in the game, not to like discredit the people who just play casually and like enjoy the game, but a competitive community that, you know, pushes everybody to get stronger, that does nothing but good for a game. And I'm really excited to see that continue with Tekken in 2018 with a lot of these international players, like I said, being a real catalyst for a lot of, like, for example, our American players to get better. So it's going to be really fun to see.
I agree. I think with the international players, it's gonna really. I'm hoping we see the players step up a bit, like Shinobi is saying. I hope that we see, yeah, because I mean, like,
so many international players, not to be insane.
I know, and like that's the thing where it's just like, I really hope that we as the USA can defend our territory, especially with Strong Style and stuff like that. Like, I really hope that everyone has been practicing and been grinding to be better, so that way we can knock out the international players. You know, it's not going to be easy, but at the same time, I feel it's definitely doable. It's not as impossible as everyone is saying.
Yeah, and like I don't have a whole lot to add, but I will say, like, having more international content coming in will definitely add a new pressure to players that wasn't seen, I think, as much in 2017. Besides, you know, like the usual, of course, Saint and JDCR. Like we talked about in the previous point, there's a bunch of new players getting sponsored to, you know, big teams and teams that are well funded. So they're definitely going to be turning into a lot more tournaments, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So we're going to see what happens this year, and I'm excited myself, since there's a lot of people I want to play, and it's just what Shinobi said. It's extremely important to travel. I would not be here where I am now if it wasn't for traveling a crap load, traveling to LA. I live 2.5 hours away from LA, but traveling to LA to play people out of state, spending my own money to do that. So like, traveling is so important. It exposes you to so many different play styles and different players and great players. So yeah, 2018 is gonna be really crazy for Tekken, I think, personally.
John Flip, how do you feel about the international players coming in? Do you feel it's gonna affect how do you feel it affects the players and stuff like that, especially in tournaments?
I feel like well, Americans, they all have different attitudes as far as how they feel about like playing international players. But I feel like my perspective on that is that international players coming into play, I'm excited because they play with people on a whole nother level, and that's just like their lifestyle. Like, you know, they play in the arcades in Korea, Japan, and stuff like that. And oh yeah, of course, Europe as well too. Like, they have some really strong players as well. And I feel like learning their play styles and how they play is completely different than Americans. I feel like a lot of us can learn from that, and I feel like that's the attitude that American players should have when they go against international players. Because I know, of course, when we had a lot of the Tekken World Tour tournaments, events, and all that, when we didn't have the game yet, there was a lot of course, you know, complaining about, like, you know, we don't have the game and this and that. That's the only reason why we're losing to the international players. I mean, them having it before us, that's going to give them like a jump start, of course, but their whole culture in general, they're a lot more, they have like bigger pool of stronger players, let's just say that. Whereas America, we do have strong players, but there's not as many, because their culture, their lifestyle of how they play they're a lot more dedicated. They have a lot more players that are more dedicated, and they literally practice every day for hours, and you get more results that way. So I feel like playing international players, that definitely teaches you something, especially if you've never played one. Because I know when I play JDCR and Nobi, like, it's definitely a eye opener. Like, you can learn a lot just from playing a couple of matches with them.
Yeah, and like you were saying about the international community. So we'll use like Korea and Japan as like an example and stuff like that. Korea and Japan, compared to the US and Europe, they're more closer together. They're more tight. The pool of players are a lot more tighter knit. Like, Japan has meetups of, specific character meetups regularly. And, Korea, there's arcades that you kind of just go to and everyone's usually there playing and stuff like that. Whereas, like, the Americas and Europe, we're more spread apart. So I think the bigger thing, like Shinobi was saying, traveling is definitely important, especially for a lot of the players, whether it's traveling locally or traveling, across the country and stuff like that, or if you have the opportunity to travel internationally to kind of play players you don't play on a regular basis, it definitely levels you up. And I feel like that's what a lot of us need. A lot of us are kind of, of course we don't think online is that big of a deal, but the thing is that with online, we can at least be able to play other people that we normally don't get to play, and we get to at least level up that way, virtually. And then when we see each other physically, it's a bit different because we're able to apply what we practice into actual action. So I mean, it's a lot of pros and cons, but I feel that America can still do it. I just think that a lot of us need to kind of work together to help each other, because I've noticed that is a huge deal in America. Is not a lot of players want to help other players.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with that. And I think that is very poor as an individual, I think. And I think that's just poor sportsmanship, because you're that worried that another player is going to download your playstyle if you tell them how to defend against what you're doing. Like, for me, I like telling people what to do against what I'm doing. Like if they're having an issue, they're like, how do I defend against this? Like, for an example, Xiaoyu is probably has the biggest target on her head in the entire game. So when people see me do certain setups or AOP out of a certain situation, they're just kind of like, all right, what do I do? Why is it like everything I'm doing, it's going through me? I'm just like, whatever character you're using, for example, like I'll say Asuka. Asuka has, of course, every character, pretty much half of their moves list will go over Ling when she does AOP, because AOP has a sidestep right built in, and you could also press down when you're in AOP, and if you time it right, you could go under a lot of mids that you're not technically supposed to go under. So a lot of people, they're like, all right, what can I do that could hit her out of it, or how can I interrupt her? Like, I tell people a lot of ways to get around it. And for me, I like that because I'm also learning too, because I'm learning how to not rely on that stance so much, and people are going to expect me to go into it. I'm like, nope, I don't have to go into it. Like Xiaoyu, I feel like Xiaoyu is a really good character even without AOP, but that's just like her thing she's had forever though. But that's just an example though. It's better to help other players out. Like, I don't feel like you need to, if you have to really hide your strategies and how you play, for me, that's just insecurity. Like, then you're really not that great of a player if you really need to hide all your little tricks and tournament strategies. I mean, like, if someone wants to ask how to defend against something you're doing, I feel like you should just tell them, like, because solid play and fundamentals overall, like, that could win,
And it's really important. And I think that's also why Korea and the Koreans and the Japanese players are very strong is because they're willing to level up each other and constantly grow each other, versus where other places, I can't really speak for Europe, but United States, specifically, I've noticed a lot of, it's kind of, you have to pick and choose who you want to level up with, because some people will purposely either level you up incorrectly and get you used to doing it, like unsafe stuff for the sake of eliminating a possible threat. And then there's also some people who are willing to sit there and help you guys, help any level up with them and also learn with them. So I think with that, with that being said, I feel that's probably what Korea and Japan's biggest strengths are, is the fact that they are constantly leveling not only themselves up but also each other up. And I think that's where we kind of hinder ourselves, is because we don't want to help each other, or we don't have a supportive community overall, and they don't really want to help each other. And it kind of leads into more of a disarray of skill level, where, our mid to high level player is like, generally a ranked between like yellow and orange, whereas like their mid to high level player is like between green and yellow. Like, it's a huge gap if you really think about it.
Yeah, and I agree with what's been said so far about a lot of the differences in the communities and how people like interact and share information and whatnot. And I also want to mention that there's a lot of exceptions to that. Well, not a lot, but there are definitely some notable exceptions to that. Like, for example, Miles, I know that pretty much you would be open to like most questions. I'm sure that like if somebody stopped in your stream and they're like, hey, could you possibly tell me how to deal with this that Elisa does? I'm sure that like you would be willing to help them. And I know that people like Speedkicks, for example, he has an entire Discord that he set up that is to promote like learning in Tekken and for players to help each other and whatnot. And I just think that it's really important to have those people in the community, because we see it help a lot in other places, such as in the Asian Tekken communities. And I would just love to see that spread more in America.
Yeah, and the only thing I'll add is that each other is also very, very important. One of the things I will always be super grateful for is the scene in SoCal has been nothing but incredible, and helping me learn Tekken, and Tekken community in general has been so good to me. They seem so eager for new players to come play their game and get better. So I've been super grateful. After the whole Evo thing, I thought people were gonna be like, I honestly legit, like when I met you, Miles, at Evo, I thought most people were gonna be like, oh my god, I beat like the idol. No one wants to like, I don't think anyone wants to hang out with me. Like, like I'm gonna be like a leper. Like everyone's I'm an asshole.
We were so happy. We're just like, oh shit, the guy that beat Tanukana.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning and someone was like, yo, this nobody beat the shit out of Tanukana. and I was just like,
hell yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like when I met you too, I thought you're super hyped too. We're actually happy. And I learned that actual like legit, legit competitors like you guys were the ones that are like, hell yeah, good shit, that was sick. And it was so cool. Like everyone like just invited me to play Tekken. Like I went to SoCal, everyone was excited to play like to help like play me and help me get better. It was really cool. Like SoCal scene's been amazing. Everyone's been pretty freaking awesome and helping me learn Tekken, which is one of my huge motivations. I love the Tekken community in general. So, a scene is only as powerful as its weakest link, I think. And if you're willing to teach them get better, and if that person is willing to get better too, I think it's an incredible an incredible thing, the incredible combination, I think. And I've witnessed it firsthand learning Tekken, and I'm still learning Tekken. SoCal's been so good to me. So, shout out to SoCal.
Yeah, and that's very, it's also important, like your local community also has to be willing to want to help you guys out and stuff like that. It takes one bad apple to ruin your entire experience with the rest of your community. And it really, I think that's also a big thing too, is like it pushes a lot of people to not want to play with their community, because there's always that one person who's just a fucking dick for no reason. And it's just, it is what it is, and it kind of sucks, and I kind of wish it would stop, but at the same time, it's just like you can't really control other people. You're only in control of yourself, and you take with that what you will, and you learn how you can. And that's why when you guys don't see me on stream, I do like to sit in practice mode and try to learn a little bit more, and be a better player. So it's you got to make do with what your tools are, and just go forth from there. But with that being said, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but for future tech and content, like with all that stuff being said, with how we're kind of dating back to our speculation of Tekken World Tour 2017 and how we felt it was pretty hyped and stuff like that, they also announced a new DLC character, Noctis, from Final Fantasy 15, which a lot of people were really pissed off about, and I get it.
Man, this shit's sick.
I get why some people were really mad, but at the same time, after I kind of got over my initial like WTF moment, I accepted it, and I was just like, yo, Noctis looks tight. But what do you guys speculate is going to get announced after Noctis? Like, because Namco's been dropping some hints. Harada's kind of been in here sharing some secret tech and stuff like that. And, what do you guys think is going to be next for in terms of like DLC and content for Tekken 7 to keep the game alive?
A couple of old characters like Lei and Anna. I feel like they're gonna come back in Julia. At least those three. I feel like.
I feel that too.
And for me, I personally think it was cool. A lot of veterans didn't like it, and that's very respectful. I don't blame you guys, but do keep in mind those guest characters are meant to draw in new players, and that's why Geese and Akuma and now Noctis are a thing, because I noticed a lot of veterans didn't like it, but when it came to new players and just people that are not Tekken players, they were like, yo, that's sick, that's crazy. And I think that's what it's supposed to do. But I think my prediction is I think it would be like an anime character, like a guess, like a Soul Bad Guy or Ragnar of Blood Edge. That's my guess. I think seeing in the text files things reversed and stuff like that in RC, which is Roman Cancel for Guilty Gear. I think. I could be horribly mistaken and probably am, but I honestly think the next, if there's a guest character, it'll probably be Soul Bad Guy or Ragnar BlazBlue. It's a wild ass guess, but I honestly think it'll be something if not, then it'll be what Leanne Flick said, Lei or Julia, something like that.
Yeah, to add on to all that, I would love to see more guest characters as well. I would really like to see what they can do to get creative with it, because I don't think anybody was really expecting Noctis. So I would like to see maybe one more guest character if possible, but I'm also one of the people who are really missing some of the older characters. I've always thought Lei is just fun to watch, and I think that's another reason why a lot of people are missing him, other than just some of the Lei players that are obviously without their main character. But also loving Armor King myself. I don't really know if he's gonna have much of a chance to get back if they want to bring in older characters, but still, there are definitely characters that people miss, and just to see a few Lei, Julia, even Mokujin. I would love to see Mokujin in the game again.
I know, right?
Oh, he's even in side select.
Get him out of here.
Taking time to learn all the characters in Tekken 7, you could benefit a lot from picking Mokujin. Imagine that.
They could even bring in the guest characters with that. That would be it would be wild what they can really do with it. And I just think that there's a lot that they could do with content for the game continuing into 2018. And even if it's not guest characters necessarily, even if it's just adding in a couple of the characters that may be missing, or even if it's just stages or something, I would love to see some of the older stages come back as well. They could redesign some of the stuff from Tekken 4 that didn't really work in that game and make them actual viable stages, because I love the designs of a lot of that stuff, or bring back some of the fan favorite stages from games like Tekken 5 or Tag 2, whatnot. Just
Ooh,
like,
was it Moonlit Wilderness or something?
yeah, I would love to see
that
that.
stage looked amazing. That's an amazing no wall stage.
Yeah, stuff like that. I would really love to see them catering to the fans who have stuck around. And then also, if they want to do some stuff like I was saying, bring in another guest character, then it could really help to grow the community like consistently. Like obviously, we're probably gonna have a lot of people coming in with Noctis, but it doesn't have to stop there. We can get somebody like a Guilty Gear character and bring in Potemkin. Like have some fun with it. That'd be crazy. Like
You'd be like gig ass.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
bring me away from King for a while. But it'd be fun to see what they can do, and I'm definitely excited to see what they have planned because it seems like they have something in store for us. Maybe at Evo Japan they'll say something, but who knows? But Noctis like coming out in spring. I don't know how soon they would be announcing anything. I know that Noctis was already announced before Geese even like officially released, but I'm just anxious to see what comes out. Like with all of these fighting games coming out, I'm glad that it seems like Tekken still has a chance to get some content coming its way. So I'm really ready to see what they do.
Yeah, and Tekken's got a lot of good content on its way. I think their future content that they're going to be providing is going to be obviously DLC characters. I'm hoping that they do bring back the legacy characters just because I'm tired of everyone crying about it. I'm just kidding, but low-key I kinda
No, you weren't kidding.
low-key I'm kind of tired of it, low-key.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty annoying. They want it to be like Tag 2 again. I mean, like, they're not going to put 50 million characters again. Like, that's dumb. Like,
I just think putting in that many characters is going to be it's going to be overkill.
too much. Like, as much as I'd want June back, or of course, Unknown, because, Unknown was Bay. Like, that was like the perfect tag filler. Like, they're not going to bring Unknown back. Like, they're not going to bring her back. So I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I want Unknown back. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah, and
Or
it's
What they could do, bring back Jinpachi.
no.
Oh,
I love that.
No, he needs to stay dead.
Jinpachi cracks me up. I love it every time he makes a noise. I was like, it's just
Like-
a...
I just want
sounds so
at
stupid.
least the 3 core legacy, Lei, Anna, Julia, and just that be a thing. And then I think obviously with the arcades for Tekken 7, they just got DLC or added on customizations for Christmas stuff. They had the present bikinis, and the guys had the girls had Santa bikinis, and the guys had present food. What is it, furodoshi, or something
like that.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
that's what it's called. I could be wrong. Correct me.
Fundoshi, I think.
Yeah, fundoshi. That's what it is.
Something.
And I think we're going to be getting that along with more customization, because I think the biggest thing that everyone kind of complained about was the customization, and I think the most important thing about that is that when you look at it, it's more so that it's left more open-ended to add more into it, to have more customizations, because imagine the game and they gave us all these customization options, and then once we go through it and we're just like, okay, this is boring now, like custom is not fun anymore. So I feel like they're going to be adding more custom options, obviously more stages. I'm really hoping that they do like a DLC for a retro DLC, and they kind of remaster a couple of stages, like at least the Tekken Fountain, everyone's favorite from Tekken 6.
Oh, Electric Fountain.
Yeah.
That was so
Electric
sick.
Fountain.
That'd be crazy to see in Unreal Engine.
I
Yeah.
know, that would be nice.
And then at least also bring in, the DLC characters. I feel like they're going to be pumping out some DLC to continue the story, because obviously the story was kind of left on a cliffhanger, and a lot of people felt it was incomplete. I also felt it was incomplete, but at the same time, I think it was incomplete for a reason, and I think it's meant to be added on to later down the line with more story and more information, because I feel like if they do Tekken 8, I feel like they're going to want to revamp the entire series and, start off with a whole new story and, a whole new cast of characters. So I think Harada has a lot of ideas cooking up over there at Bandai, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be a while, and it's gonna take some time. And I just hope everyone can be patient enough instead of screaming at Harada on Twitter, because I know he probably gets annoyed, and I know I get fucking annoyed every single time I see at Harada_Tekken. When is, insert my complaint here going to be in the game, or when are you going to fix insert my small complaint that doesn't apply to everyone in the entire world here? I think a lot of that stuff is gonna.
And the people who do that too, like, I'm not trying to sound like a douche, but they're usually irrelevant. Just
damn.
Just saying, like.
Well, we also have to remember the game doesn't only cater to the tournament players or the relevant players. I think the game obviously is meant to be played both competitively and casually. So we also have to keep in mind that a lot of the hardcore fans are the ones that are kind of complaining and want it. I think I got into like a Twitter discussion with this guy who, he's an old school Tekken player, but he heavily dislikes the fact that we got Akuma and Geese and Elisa because he feels that's not Tekken. But, you have to look at it, and I told him, you got to look at it in the bigger picture. One, it's to attract new players, because unfortunately, with this franchise, we have so many players who are fans of the game, and this game is not easy for new people to pick up by whatsoever. Tekken 7 is, but in the past it just wasn't easy for people to pick up. So I think the biggest thing that people need to realize, especially the hardcore fans that are not so accepting of a lot of the new changes and stuff like that, is that it's meant to cater to keep the franchise alive, because you want to capitalize, of course, on your already built market, but you want to expand and grow. And I think a lot of people just they're not down for change.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to something that you were sort of getting at as well. You were mentioning how adding in the what we call 2D or the meter characters, a lot of people said they're not Tekken, but we're at the point that we really need to consider what is Tekken nowadays, because this is Tekken now. Like, we have the characters, we have to adapt to them, and whether people like it or not, they're in the game, and they have reasons to be in the game. Because it's not just competitive players, like you were saying. It's to build a larger community overall. And if some people don't like it that they're taking up spots in the roster, then, we're not going to get everything we want. A lot of people may have felt spoiled by the Tag 2 roster, but, there's reasons for the guest characters to be in the game. And it's just to give Tekken more exposure. And I think that in the end, that's what everybody in the Tekken community probably want, because we all just want to see the game grow. And I think that also leads into a conversation about growing the community, but I just think that people need to realize the product that we have now is the product that I wouldn't want to say we have to deal with, because that makes it sound like there's something negative, but it's a product that has evolved over time. Since clearly, looking at a game such as Tekken 5 compared to Tekken 7, vastly different games, but it's how Tekken is now, and these characters are here, and I would rather see people have fun with it. For example, there were at least 2 Geese players. I know that Trungy was playing Geese at KIT, and then I think it was Shinblade that was the other who was in top 8 using Geese. And I'd like to just see people have fun with characters rather than complain that they're there. So I think that while they are unique, each of them may be tough to deal with, but it's definitely fun to see what they can do with Tekken nowadays.
Well, I mean, with that being said, I think we can all agree, Tekken is a game that's built on the foundation of having unique fighting styles and unique play styles. The game, every single character is so unique and intricate, no one's the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game that you definitely need to lab, and the characters are so unique, which is one of the reasons why I like Tekken so much. It reminds me of the anime games I play. Like I mentioned before, I still need a lot more training in, that's for sure. But when I play Tekken, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like everything's so different. Like the system mechanics keep things like kind of evenish, which is really cool. Like everyone has a 10-frame jab. Everyone has while standing moves. Like it's really cool. But at the same time, the characters are very fundamentally different. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I mean that's like that's one thing that I always try to instill, especially with when I try to talk with people who have obviously differing feelings about Tekken 7, how they feel Tekken 7's the worst Tekken. I try to at least provide a different perspective. Obviously, not everyone's open to listening to different opinions and stuff like that. But if you could at least open that bridge to talk about your feelings and give a different perspective to things, I think it helps other people to think in a more critical way.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
So, moving on from that tired talk, because I've talked so much about it, especially with Main Man, that I'm just like, it's just like a broken record for me. I'm just constantly repeating myself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes you're like, time to move on.
So Tekken community potential growth. How do you guys feel that the community obviously is always growing, especially with, like we were mentioning earlier, how we're talking about the newer characters are bringing in newer people and stuff like that, and now the community is actually growing. Like, this is the most growth I've seen in the Tekken community in quite some time. I mean, I came in kind of late, but I think even the OGs are pretty shocked to see a lot of the newer talent that's coming out and the younger talent that's coming out and, showing up. We have, like, Young P making more of a prominence in Tekken 7. We've got, myself making more of a prominence in Tekken 7. Yanflip making more of a prominence.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful dude making more of a prominence.
Yeah, beautiful dude. Beautiful dude with his, like he popped out into the scene and he's been, a growing tree. So we just got, how do you feel with the game expanding? How much do you think this game, the community is going to evolve with the game in 2018?
I guess I'll start with that then. My view is a little bit smaller, a lot more smaller than Yanflip or you, Miles, because I'm an early 017er. Like, I'm a hella early 017er. My first game, I guess it early was Tekken 7. I bought it a week after it came out because the game was sick, and the game looked really sick, and Claudio came out. And I think the growth of the game, at least from my perspective, seems to be very healthy. From a SoCal perspective, the SoCal scene is very healthy. There's a lot of members in it, a lot of vets there willing to teach people how to play. And I think the growth in 2018, especially when they said that characters are still coming out, there's still going to be content for Tekken 7 next year. So there's going to be, I think that's what they announced, so there's going to be more stuff beyond beyond what was already, beyond Noctis, I hear. So and that's another chance to get more players. Like I said, the main games are usually anime, which I still need to work on myself, but playing Tekken has been so much fun, and I love it. I can't have enough of this game. And now, especially after Tekken World Tour, I saw so many of my anime bros picking it up, and maybe not seriously, like being like super competitive about it, like I am. But they're still like playing it and having a good time and trying to get better. It's so cool. Like in the Exer Discord I'm a part of, there's a Tekken there's a little Tekken sub part, which is really rad. Like, that's so cool. If you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick Tekken now, and like I'm picking like Leo or something like that, or I'm gonna pick Kazumi and pick the waifu or some other cool stuff. So like, it's really rad to see my anime bros finally pick up Tekken. They're seeing what I've been seeing for early 017. So I think the potential for growth is definitely there, especially with the new content coming out, and who knows what that's going to be. I think it's going to be a good year, personally.
Well, I can't wait to see how people adapt to what Noctis brings, and I can't wait to see like the kind of people who continue to join the Tekken community from like different parts of the fighting game community, because like you were saying with anime, even if people don't really get involved like fully with Tekken as a competitive game, bringing in people it's just very important for keeping the game alive and for people to acknowledge the game as like, a part of the fighting game community. Obviously, I don't feel like we have problems with that, but for people to just like enjoy other games in the community rather than just like their main game. And if people say, "Hey, let me try Tekken for a little bit," then like I love it. I love to see people cross games, even if they're not like entering tournaments for them. Like we were talking about Speed Kicks playing Guilty Gear for a little bit. Even
That's
if he's
rad.
even if he's not going into tournaments, like he said that he wasn't playing in Evo Japan, but he's still enjoying the game, and I want to see people do the same for Tekken. And to see people come into this community, it's comforting to know that like there will always be people to play the game, because knowing that there will always be people there to play and to learn, it's very exciting to see where things will go from there.
Exactly. And I think with 2018, 2017 was such a huge year for Tekken, and for the newer faces to kind of come out and make a bigger impact into the community and provide more of a presence. And I think with 2018, we're going to see an even more heavy growth in Tekken. And I think we're going to see a lot of the community growing. We're going to see a lot of people growing. We're going to see a lot of players growing. We're going to see a lot of exposure growing. I mean, ESL's going to happen someday, maybe, because, ESL kind of took its thing off with a Street Fighter, but then there's also, there was Injustice and now Rocket League and stuff like that.
E-League,
so,
not ESL.
Yeah, E-League, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. But, it's that thing that hopefully, like, Tekken starts to break into that kind of area this year in 2018 and pushes it even further for not only its sales, but also its prominence in the FGC, because it's already got that one strike on it that kind of makes it that game that not a lot of people want to play, because it's a 3D fighter. So generally 3D fighters are just not well received, and it has that kind of mark against it. So seeing it grow so much in 2017, I can't even imagine how big it's going to grow in 2018. And as it grows in 2018, we're all going to be here and we're going to be growing with it. And I'm excited to see the newer players who pick it up and start coming in to play it and get into it and enjoy the game that us Tekken players, me and Yonflip, the original, we were Tekken players and stuff like that. We are Tekken players before the newer crowd came in for Tekken 7, and I'm hoping Yonflip would agree that seeing the growth into 2017 for Tekken 7 was just the best thing ever.
Hell,
really, really good. Like, I'm really happy that more people are getting into the game. Like you said, Miles, and I feel like just that in general, like that opens a lot of doors for American players, because then we could, basically grow an empire and have more not gonna say more like better players, but like just in general, like have like a bigger pool of skilled players, so that we could actually stand a better chance against international players. I feel like that'll definitely help a lot, introducing like we talked about before with the guest characters, that's bringing in more talent from other games. And just, I don't know, I feel like it's a good thing. Like, so it's really interesting to look at that.
Yeah, in 2018, I feel, I didn't really think Tekken 7 was going to explode as hard as it did in 2017. I thought it was going to be kind of, hot for 1 month and then kind of lose its steam throughout the rest of 2017. But to see it just constantly just be on fire throughout the entire year, I'm hoping that Bandai and Harada can take this momentum that they've gained and kind of just keep, make the hill even more steeper and just keep that momentum even faster and just really build up Tekken and just make sure that it is, you know, around for a long time and it's permanent. Because, you know, you see the legacy games like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, those games, and Smash, those games are still being pushed and they're still being played at major events, because not only is the game, you know, well received amongst its fans, but it also has a huge fan base. And I think that's so important that Tekken is finally getting that fan base to keep its legacy alive with Tekken 7.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how the game continues to grow, because I was also sort of surprised at how much it took off. I definitely think that Tekken World Tour really helped with that, and I am just ecstatic for the high chances of that happening again this year, because I think that we can just keep on growing higher.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, enough I can talk. Let's change the pace and let's talk about the anticipated game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Another Namco game.
Yeah, it's another Namco game. And last year, Dragon Ball Fighter Z got a lot of attention. It got a lot of hype around it. So I'm curious, like, are any of you guys going to be like playing the beta? Are you guys going to want to be getting the beta on your hands? Like, how do you feel about it? Oh, Yonflip, you're actually going to play that game?
So a little secret I want to tell you, Miles. I've always played Tekken, but I actually used to play a lot of other fighting games.
Same.
I used to play Street Fighter 4 very actively. I actually played that the same amount of time I dedicated to Tekken 7. But of course, during that time, you know, I was in high school and stuff. I didn't really have like the time or the transportation to go to tournaments. But I used to play Street Fighter 4 a lot. I used Gen, Chun-Li, Blanca, Sakura. And then I also played, of course, cheap characters. And then I also played Dragon Ball Z, Budokai. I played all of those. My favorite one was Budokai 3. And then I also liked Budokai Tenkaichi, I think it was called. I liked that one as well. So yeah, I'm going to get it because, come on, like I love Marvel vs. Capcom. I love that concept. I used to play 1 and 2. So mixing Dragon Ball Z with the whole tag system, like how they do in Marvel vs. Capcom, I think, and then the graphics, I love the look of it. It just looks awesome. I'm already planning on using Majin Buu and Android 18. Like that's already 2 characters I know I'm going to use together. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, I'm going to get it.
I can't wait to try the game again for myself, because I, through a friend, had access to the closed beta, and it was fantastic. I'm so excited to get in on it again. I actually really hope that the game, like overall, obviously it's probably going to take off competitively, but I really hope that Namco like gives it the attention it deserves on a competitive level, because I really think that, like, for example, if they wanted to copy what Capcom was going to do, well, with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, what they tried to do near the end of the year with the Battle of Stones, they could take the Dragon Ball concept and basically do the same thing if they want. I mean, I don't know if it'd be like copying too much, but they could definitely like build a strong and like entertaining and exciting tour off of the stuff that they have there to use, and especially with the viewership that they can already get from it being like such a huge franchise and being a Namco game. They could also like have it at events that like would be Tekken World Tour events for next year, and it could really like take off like super successfully as a like competitive game, and even get a lot of people sponsored like to play Dragon Ball. Like,
oh yeah, I just to add to that, I hope there's gonna be more sponsored opportunities for people in Dragon Ball. Like one person in anime that definitely I think has a great track, and I hope and I think he will. I really do. Is Nakiel. Nakiel, I don't know if you guys have heard or not. Nakiel is a fantastic BlazBlue and Guilty Gear player. He's been putting so much work into DBFZ, like so much, like it's crazy.
Oh, BD, your mic. Beautiful
Yeah.
dude, your mic. Beautiful dude.
Looks like we're watching a dub now. He's just like, look, it's Godzilla.
Beautiful dude, your mic. Beautiful dude.
It says you're muted for me.
Beautiful
But-
dude, your mic.
Just to keep it going, while he sorts that out, I am really excited to see how like professional players like grow for that game, because I really think that with
you guys
the
hear me
numbers,
by the way or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, I think that with the numbers for certain events like Combo Breaker, it already has like really high numbers for Dragon Ball, so there are definitely going to be players worth sponsoring for that game. But
Absolutely.
beautiful dude, continue with what you were saying.
And one of those players I think it'll happen. I hope it'll happen. You know, I'm rooting for him 100%. Is Derek, aka Nakiel. He's an extremely good BlazBlue and Guilty Gear player. You know, he went to Evo about 3 years back by being a top placer. I don't remember what year it was, before I was an anime player. And he's been putting so much work into DBFZ. Like, it's crazy how much work he's been putting into it. Teaching people how to play the game, streaming a lot. He's gonna do a 24-hour stream when the open beta is out. I hope you guys watch that. That's gonna be sick. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play the beta because I'm gonna be in LA already, preparing for the Dissidia thing. But I definitely implore you guys to watch his stream. I have to find the Twitch link so I can put it in a stream chat. Definitely gonna do that. I'll do that in a bit. And definitely recommend following him. That's the one guy I think has a huge chance. I think he will. I think his time is gonna come. He's a strong BlazBlue player. He's a strong Guilty Gear player. He's an awesome personality, I think, and he's already pretty good at DBFZ. I think I haven't watched too much.
Oh yeah,
Like,
from what I've
he-
seen,
he-
definitely.
and when the game comes out, he's only going to get better. So, and the content he's been putting out has been really sick. And he's going to be streaming a bunch, so I think he has a big chance of things happening for sure. And a lot of other anime players too. There's definitely a lot of other anime players are definitely getting there for DBFZ, and I think sponsorship opportunities is something that can definitely happen for a lot of them.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens. And for me, I'm not super excited for the game. Like I definitely want to play it a lot when it comes out. When I come back from Japan, but there's not a bunch of characters I like. Yeah, there's not that one character that I love. Like in Tekken, it's Claudio, Aurelius, BlazBlue, Zato, or Gigi. But besides that, TN looks cool and stuff like that. But I'm not super. Thank you for putting the Twitter, Abe. Appreciate it. Of Nakio. Yeah, please follow him if you guys can.
Yeah, no problem.
But there's not like that one player that a character that I absolutely love. So I'm a little not as super hyped for it, but I'm still gonna give it a big shot and hopefully get into it, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy year for DBFZ. I think I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. It's gonna be wild. I think I have the utmost confidence in ArcSys to make a good game, but who knows what's gonna happen like community wise. Like that game's gonna be massive. Like
It's gonna be a huge
gonna be
year
crazy.
for anime, absolutely.
I'll find his Twitch.
But
Definitely.
I'm excited for DBFC. I know I made a sub thing in my Discord for Dragon Ball Z Fighter or Dragon Ball Fighter Z, whatever. And
There we go. There's his Twitch, by the way.
Whatever it's called.
Definitely recommend you guys give him a follow if you can.
I actually still need to follow.
And I think like that's it's gonna be a big thing. I'm definitely excited for it. Obviously, I plan on using my bitch Android 18, and
She looks pretty good.
yeah, and my husbando Android 16, and probably I don't know who else I want to use after that, but it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be different to play. I know I got to play a little bit of it here and there. But I'm excited to see this, and I know with this game it's actually gonna make like beautiful to kind of like continue on what Beautiful Dude was saying. Like Dragon Ball Fighter Z is gonna definitely put the anime community on the map.
I think so too.
It's gonna definitely, because this game is so hyped up for an anime game. Everyone is so excited for this game, and it's an anime game, So you already know, like, the exposure it's gonna bring to the players playing is gonna be insane. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what I can do for the anime community overall, because like, even though I'm not like super invested in it myself, I definitely would love to see more people like branch off from, you know, enjoying Dragon Ball Fighters to, you know, picking up Guilty Gear possibly, or like Blaze Blue Cross Tag whenever it comes out, or even I know that one of my personal favorite anime fighting games, Under Night ST, is finally getting a US release in early February. And if people could like end up growing into like more of anime fighting game community members like from Dragon Ball Fighters, then I think that that's one thing that people haven't really thought about as much, but it's definitely something that could happen as well. And so I'm just really excited to see how that game can help tie together the entire fighting game community, and even people from outside the FGC, like, who are coming in because they just like Dragon Ball and they want to, like, you know, play the game competitively. They could really like find that there's a lot more than just one game to love in the fighting game community, and I think that that's super important to notice.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like Dragon Ball Z is going to be pretty hype. Also, continuing on the Bandai Namco new game hype, Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah, Soul Calibur 6. That game looks crazy.
I'm waiting on an Astaroth trailer.
Yanflip is smiling over there because he knows exactly who I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on Setsuka. I'm waiting on Taki. Like, I'm waiting on all my hoes to come back into Soul Calibur.
I wish they bring Column back. I need another small Asian character to go under everything.
Like, you just want the cheapest characters possible.
I just want Raphael because he's pretty and he has a Rapier and he just does forward BBV over and over again. That's it. That shit was sick.
I bet Raphael's gonna be in. He's one of them.
So.
Raphael and Maxi. I think that those two are probably like for sure in.
If he's not in,
I
then
hope.
get out of here. I'm not buying that game.
The long stack, you know, poke him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. And then who else? Oh, Taki. Hell yeah.
Taki, she needs to make that comeback. Chun-Li she's been in the game. She's been doing the thing. Like, where'd Taki go? She disappeared.
I know, man. Like, she was so sick.
And I am like definitely hoping. Obviously, we already know Tyr is gonna make her release into Soul Calibur 6. Like, that is a given. I would hope it's a given, even though she kind of sucked in 5. But at the same time, like, Soul Calibur 6 is gonna be hella hype. Like.
Ooh, who's the chick with the umbrella? Setsuka?
Yeah, that was Setsuka.
She's so cool. I hope they bring her back.
Like,
just bring back Raphael.
Yeah.
I don't care about anyone else.
Two that we
all the cheap girl characters. Yes. Okay.
Two that weren't mentioned though. We have to have Valdo, of course, and then everybody loves Yoshimitsu. I can't wait to see his new design.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have him look like a freaking. Like, wait, hold on. They already did Octopus and Squid, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have him look like a spaghetti tentacle monster thing. I don't know. It's something new.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a really good year for fighting games overall.
We got so many like extra like new games that are coming out, and like Bandai. You can tell Bandai's trying to make 2018 their year. They're trying to make 2018 their bitch with, like, you know. They're one of their also famous franchise, Soul Calibur, and then their new release of Dragon Ball Fighter Z being so hyped by the fighting game community. Like, it's just like, I'm like beyond excited for all these new things to come out and these new games to come out, because not only are we going to see a lot of crossing paths with other players, you know, from other communities, but we're also going to see even more newer players, which I'm excited for. I'm so excited to always meet new players and see new players kind of shine in different games. And I know Soul Calibur kind of got the short end of the stick most of the time. You know, Soul Calibur 5 didn't live too long, so they kind of didn't get their time to shine. So I'm excited to see a lot of the Soul Calibur players come back in 6 and really start to shine, especially since now the FGC is going super esports.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be great to see how everything grows.
Yeah, for sure. I've never been the biggest Soul Calibur fan. I played a little bit of 2. I spent a little bit of 2, which is a fun game, and I played 5 a tiny bit, like casually, when I was even more of a baby in the fighting community.
Ooh, 2 had Link, huh? On GameCube. That one was sick.
Oh yeah, I had it on GameCube. I was like, "Yo, Link's in the game!"
That was so cool.
I was like, "Oh shit!" But I didn't play fighting games competitively at all. But I was like, "Yo, Raphael though, he looks pretty and he's got a rapier. I'm sold." But yeah, Soul Calibur 6 looks neat. I'll try it. I'm not sure if I'll get into it. I think I already have way too much on my plate with Tekken, BBGG, DBFZ. Hopefully, if I like it, and yeah, that's already potentially 4 games. But I'll definitely give it a shot. You know, Soul Calibur wasn't exactly, I think, a super complicated game. I don't remember. I didn't play the game seriously. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. It looks cool. I'm really happy. The thing I'm really happy about is all these players super happy that Soul Calibur is back. That's so sick. I love when fans get what they want.
I'm still upset that they made Heihachi so trash in Soul Calibur 2 on PS2.
Oh yeah, I heard he was bad. Like,
yeah, he's not that great.
Like, poop.
It'd be fun to see if they added a guest character for Soul Calibur 6. Though.
Like, I don't have a weapon. I just have these bracelet things around my hands.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Soul Calibur 6 is going to be hype. Soul Calibur 6 is going to be hype. Alright. So, before we close it out, is there any New Year shout outs you guys are going to want to talk about? Like, talking about people who helped you with 2017 and stuff like that, or anything at all?
I can go ahead and start. First off, obviously, even though I'm not with them, I would like to thank the people who gave me a chance at Echo Fox. That was great to work on some content that definitely helped kick off my year. And then going further into the year, the people at UIU giving me the chance that they did and that they are giving me right now, I am just like so grateful for that. And so definitely shout out to them. I'm really excited for this year, and like anybody who has given me like any sort of guidance in different games, like learning things for whenever Tekken 7 came out, for example. Like I was saying, Speed Kicks and the people in his Discord, shout outs to all of them. I've loved like learning more about like Tekken 7 because obviously each game has its new intricacies, and we're all in this to learn together, or most of us at least. And so definitely a shout out to the people who have not only helped me, but also other players who, you know, try to reach out to get better at games. And so, yeah, just shout out to the people that really help push the community. I think that's about it for my shout outs. Also, shout out to Miles for putting together Kawaii FM.
The real one. All right, who's next? Who has their shills?
I guess I'll do a little shout out. 2017. Once again, I'm gonna thank ITS. Like, obviously, I'm not with them anymore, but I felt like that definitely opened a lot of doors for me as far as you know, I was in a team with a lot of great players. You know, Miles was in there, Princess Ling, Cuddlecore, like a bunch of good players. So like I got to train with them, and it was really great. So like once again, pat on the back to Heavenly Skies, you know. And definitely a shout out to you, Miles, because, you know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here right now, you know, on this podcast. And like I said, it's a very huge honor to be with, you know, I get to meet Alex, you know, he's a really big part of UU. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is it UU, right?
It's UIU.
UIU?
Just a U?
UIU. Okay. Right. Oh yeah, UIU. And then, you know, like it's an honor, you know, it's a privilege to be able to talk to people like you guys. So, you know, Miles, like you're like doing your thing like big time. Like I didn't ever expect you to blow up this quick. So shout out to you definitely. And shout out to all the players that taught me, you know, a lot of new things for Tekken, and it's just, awesome year, definitely. I'm done.
Beautiful, dude.
No. Who do I think? Damn, so many people to thank. Holy crap, I should have made notes on this.
I feel like you always do have like a list of people you want to shout out. Every single time I see
just come to me,
articles, it's always just a list.
Yeah. Shit. Okay. I definitely want to thank SoCal Scene for being so awesome to me. Everyone there has been so cool. From Kizzy to Kizzy K, who's also he's extremely good sim player. From Sin and Jin player from LA, to Jonah, who's taught me so much and taught me so much Blaze Blue. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am in Blaze Blue, which isn't that much to be on in the grand scheme of things, but it's definitely helped me a lot. Bryant Fu, he's been so good to me too. He's my best friend of 14 years, and we trained in Guilty Gear together for a good amount of time. We just playing each other. We all we had was each other, so that helped me more than anything. Not only that, ITS, our time was short, but it was undeniable how much they helped me. In the 5 or 6 months I was there. I'm gone now, but Heavenly and ITS helped me a lot, and they gave me a chance when a lot of people wouldn't. So I definitely have to recognize that. Paul, Super Effects, Monique, of course, X-Maniac, they're basically like parents to me. Or he likes to say like a bigger brother, but they're family to me, and they've guided me when I've definitely not been the best person I can be at a lot of times. And a lot of times people's patience for me ran out, and they was like they didn't want to deal with me, and that's perfectly okay. I definitely made a lot of mistakes, things I honestly regret a lot, but they stuck with me, and so did my friends, and so did friends I have today, and that's something I will always be grateful for, because like I said, a year and a half ago, definitely made a lot of mistakes that, looking back now, it sucks. But I'm glad I had friends that forgave me and gave me a second chance, and people that still stick with me to this day. And that's something I will always be grateful for, always. And besides that, my family helped me out when I was beginning. And yeah, shout outs to all my friends and family that helped me out, that stuck by me through my good times and my bad times. I definitely was an asshole a lot of those times too. So I still have a lot to learn as a human being and as a fighting game player too, because I don't think I'm there yet either, not even close. So hopefully in 2018 I can learn from my past mistakes. Were definitely many. So yeah, thanks guys. I know I'm missing a lot of people, and if I did, I apologize. I suck when it comes to giving these shout outs. I always miss a lot of people. But yeah, thank you guys. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here where I am now. 2017 was overall pretty dang good, and hopefully it'll get better for 2018. So thanks guys, appreciate it.
So heartfelt. I was having a moment.
If I was there right now, I would give you a nice bro hug right now.
I don't
like you needed one right there.
Thank you. it was more heartfelt than I thought, but it's what I honestly think.
I love it. Jeez, I don't know how I can follow that one up. Well, first of all, I have a lot of shout outs. So let me just open up my list here really quick. First of all, obviously, the first shout out goes to ITS and Heavenly Skies. Obviously, I wouldn't be here where I am as a competitive player and also as a growing personality and figure in the FGC without given that opportunity to be on their team 2 years ago and representing the team and stuff like that. So I definitely thank Heavenly and ITS for everything that it's given me and helping me become a more competent and better person and more of a stronger person at that, not just virtually but also in real life. Definitely shout outs to my core group of friends, Jan Flip, Princess Ling, Sour Piggy, Rochelle, those four have been my closer friends of ITS. We talk every day. We still talk every day. And they definitely been a huge support system for me, especially through harder times and especially pre-streaming. They've always been there, and post-streaming they've also been very supportive and wishing me the best and wanting the best for me. So definitely shout out to them, because having a good support system is so important, and I'm so lucky to have a group of friends that supported me prior, and they supported me even now after. Shout outs to shout outs to Flo, shout outs to Eris, shout out to Rip and PR Balrog for when I was first starting to stream and I'd run into them while playing Tekken, and I'd run into them on PC, and those guys really did give me a lot of exposure. And definitely they have become, I absolutely enjoy them as people and content, and, every tournament, I still haven't met Flo yet, but it's on my 2018 list of things to do. But Eris especially, definitely for being so welcoming and, so nice to me, and everyone else, and his group of stoners that come into my stream and have also fallen in love with me. Shout outs to that group. Shout outs to UYU for picking me up after ITS, because honestly after ITS me and Princess Ling left at around the same time, and I knew he was going to get picked up, but as far for me, I had no idea or set goal or plan for myself, and I didn't really see myself getting picked up anytime soon. So definitely shout out to them for seeing something very important in me, and wanting me on their team. Shout out to Andy and Kwamba and Katie, Kwamba in general, but specifically Andy and Katie, for always believing in me, and having support. Without Katie, there would not be any stream going on. Without Andy's support and his belief of me as both a player and a person and someone who's marketable, I would not be here, shilling out Kwamba. So definitely shout out to them. Most importantly, well, it's important. So I'm gonna say the most important, but most importantly, shout outs to Harada for being not only the creator of one of my favorite games in the entire world. Like, I've already gone on like a Twitter rant about it, but definitely being supportive of his consumers and his players, and being here and always catching my streams when he can and watching and giving that support. So I definitely appreciate knowing that the person who makes this game that I love so much supports me, and also his market as much as he does. Because to me, honestly, it was a shock to see him in here, and I thought it was so unheard of for game developers and the makers of a game to even care about their fan base, and he really does. But the most important shout out goes to all of you guys, and all of the followers and the viewers and the subscribers and all of you guys, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be streaming, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and enjoying it every single day. And I really thank you guys, because there's been a lot of days where I have a lot of bad days in real life and I'm in a bad mood, but then I turn on my computer and set up my stream and everything's all good, because it feels like I'm just hanging out with friends and people who support me, and I just love it so much having that support. And I'm trying my best to give back to you guys. That's why I'm trying to do monthly subscriber contests and more giveaways and tournaments, and making Wednesdays your day, and that was one of my resolutions for 2018. So definitely a huge shout out to all of you guys. And of course, shout out to Abev for pushing me to always always make content and make better content. And even with this podcast, you know, I kind of planted that little seed of maybe of doing a podcast, and he definitely pushed me to do one, and it's super fun, super exciting. So I think that's all of it. All of my shout outs. But definitely I always have to remember where I came from and where I started, because if I already know if I ever forgot that, I would lose who I was, and I don't ever want to lose who I am, especially later down the road, because who supported me then and who was there for me then is who makes me now. And I feel I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good person, so I want to continue being a better person and a better player. So I'm definitely appreciate everything from everyone, every single person who's impacted my life. You guys are amazing. I love all of you.
Also, shout outs to the asshole Brian player, Front Row Joe, in the stream chat.
Shout outs to Front Row Joe for always antagonizing me, but it pushes me to be a better player. Thank you. Alright, guys. So that was our podcast. Kind of long. It was a little long there, but I think we covered a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff talked about. We got to see Jan Flip's first appearance on stream, which, if you guys aren't following him already, his Twitch is twitch.tv/JanFlip21. Definitely follow him. He's going to be streaming super soon this week. He will be streaming Tekken and probably some other games as well, but primarily Tekken, just like me. Next podcast is this podcast segment is actually going to be a bi-weekly thing. We're going to be doing it every Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
What a sexy appearance it was. I'm sorry, that was funny.
It's true. You know, next podcast we're going to probably be talking about you know, more tournaments, anticipation, especially for Strong Style, Evo Japan, Strong Style, Evo Japan. We got a lot of events. I forgot some shout outs though. Shout outs to Dimple Sama, because Dimple Sama has been he's been very supportive of me, because he was also there when I was new to streaming. So definitely shout out to him, because he's been a very patient person with me, and I really appreciate him. And then of course also shout out to my new friend Dodo Ring for being supportive and helping me with Tekken, and being also, you know, sharing his knowledge in Tekken. So definitely thank you guys, thank you. But yeah, next podcast we're gonna, you know, be talking about that Evo Japan. Princess Ling is also in Japan, right? It just left to Japan today, so he should be there already. He should be there today, right?
He should probably be there at this point.
He's probably there at this point. But
yeah, it's the afternoon or almost the evening over there right now in Japan.
Yeah, he should be there already. But definitely Evo Japan, Strong Style. I definitely want to also talk about more players that aren't sponsored or in the spotlight, so like more of the international players, and also more players that US, Europe, all of that stuff. And we're going to be having some more guests on the stream. I definitely would love to have back our good three here, but of course I definitely want to have more cooler. Not, you guys are cool, so I said that in the wrong way, but more I want to have more of a variety, if that makes sense.
Right.
I know for sure I'm going to try my best for everyone to try to get Lord Eris on here. However,
my boy,
I may have to work really hard for that one. So we'll see how that
work
goes.
Very, very hard for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work really hard for that one. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, beautiful dude, Jan Flip and Abev, for coming in and sitting here and discussing everything Tekken and everything fun. Yeah, beautiful dude does look so tired.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do the beta. Like I said, like playing 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. like twice in 2 days in a row, it gets to you. It gets to you pretty badly. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. But thank you guys so much. Also remember, closing segments. If you guys would like to join in the Discord, hit up that Discord link. There's a Discord. If you guys want to follow me on social media, definitely follow me on social media. I'm very active on Twitter, and you will see a lot of my streaming times on there.
Miles,
What?
can I cut in for a second?
What?
Could we possibly say something about social media? If everybody here, if they haven't already said something, like where to follow each person?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My name is like I said, Beautiful Dude. You can follow me at Beautiful Dude GG if you feel like it, and I have a Twitch as well. It's just twitch.tv/The Beautiful Dude if you want.
And my Twitter is literally Yanflip. So if you want to follow me on there, that would be awesome, and I'll follow you guys back. And then my Twitch is Yanflip21.
And for myself, I am on Twitter as abev_KY for Kentucky. And also the same on Twitch. I don't often stream, but I sometimes do. So if you want to follow, then go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Abev is a very good informational streamer. I know he plans on streaming a lot of stick modding.
Possible.
So definitely give him a follow.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, if you guys want to follow me on my social media, my command is !social media. I'm just trying to write in everyone else's social media in there really quick, so that way we got a good source of Abev is yours, Abev_KY on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah. If you guys missed my social media, there's my social media. If you guys want to support the stream directly, I would definitely appreciate it. There is a subscribe button, not required, but definitely we're trying to get to 80 subscriber points or 80 subscribers, so that way we can get a brand new emote. I already have the perfect emote to reward you guys with that, so I definitely appreciate that. And there is a giveaway going on right now, sponsored by UIU, for an Xbox One with Tekken 7. So enter up in that giveaway, and like I said, I am doing a subscriber contest. There is the link to the Twitter post for that subscriber contest. Definitely get in there if you are a subscriber. Definitely get up in there and enter in that subscriber contest. We got some amazing prizes for there. And yeah. Any closing things, guys? Anything you guys want to say?
King is top tier. Shout outs to Lil Majin again.
Thank you, Claudio, for existing and getting me into Tekken. Claudio has done so much for me. I forgot to give shout outs to UIU for following me. I am not following it, so sorry for sponsoring me. I really appreciate that. Taking a chance on me. That's awesome to see. I'll try to do better for 2018. So thanks, guys. Hopefully you'll see more of me soon.
Yeah, but
Oh, and then of course, shout out to waifu characters. It is a very, very awesome thing in fighting games. Like, I'm really happy that, once again, shout out to Hirata for making my main character actually good in this game, really good. And yeah, thank you for letting her just be cute. And
I like how you said that. Thank you for making my girl better in this game. Screw you, man, you damn Ling player.
I get a lot of enemies, but I mean, it's not my fault that Xiao Yu's such a great girl. She's an awesome person.
freaking Link players, bro. I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
And then, of course, thank you, Elisa, for guiding me through the toughest of times and
Superman
being
punch.
my best friend through everything. And thank you,
Hell yeah.
Harada, and thank you, viewers and subscribers. Thank you, all of you. I love all of you. And we are going to be out. So, good night. See you guys tomorrow for another wonderful stream. I'm feeling techy tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, good night.
All right, bye.
Go,
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
I don't know when we can talk.